Bravo. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cambridge Veritas. My name is Krishna Athria, and I'm so happy to see you all. If you guys are able to hear me, please do show me a big thumbs up or a big hi in the live chat. Lots of love. Yesterday, we started our live classes, online live classes on Cambridge Veritas's YouTube channel. And I was so happy to see so many students joining in, approximately 20 students. And I hope we had a good learning experience. In case you haven't watched yesterday's live class, please do go back to the channel and see what we did. We discussed 10 most common mistakes that people make when it comes to modern communication skills. So, this series that we have started on Cambridge Veritas is titled as Modern Communication Skills. So, every night at 9:30 p.m., we meet and discuss something related to English that you can use to improve your daily communication. And by the way, there's a surprise that's there for you. But unfortunately, it wasn't ready today. So I wanted to actually give it to you today, but it wasn't ready. So um, I've decided and spoken to the team at Cambridge Veritas. There's some practice material that is getting ready for you, which we will be able to give from tomorrow onwards. So stay tuned. This is going to be a very wholesome experience. All those people who are not able to have communication skills accessible to them or they find it really difficult can join on Cambridge Veritas every day at 9:30 p.m. IST to get that need sort of checked off. All right. So before we get started, just show me a big thumbs up that you're able to see, please. Thank you. I hope you're able to see. Show me a big thumbs up or say yes. Thank you. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you. That helps. So, without further ado, let's begin the class. Now, in this lesson today, we're going to be looking at 15 words. In my experience, I've seen beginner students, intermediate students, as well as advanced level students. They make one common mistake. And these 15 words are the most common words that I've heard in my 15 years of experience where people actually mess with the correct use of them during interviews, international conversations, group discussions. And it is a little bit embarrassing. So, to make sure that you do not struggle with that and you get to know how these words are correctly used, we've designed this lesson. All right, so let's get started. Without further ado, let's discuss mistake number one. So there's a phrase here called according to. Now, I want to show you how people use it incorrectly. So have a look. According to me, this will never work. So, all those watching right now, what do you think is the meaning of according to me? Once again, what do you think is the meaning of according to me? What is the problem with this particular sentence here? Put your answers in the chat box. I'm going to be looking at it one by one. There's some problem with according to me. I'm going to be looking at your comments simultaneously as you guys put it. Your answer does not have to be perfect. Just make a wild guess off the top of your head. I'm sure you must have said it as well a lot of times when you're giving your opinion and you say, according to me, but that's incorrect. So, what do you think is correct? In my opinion, yes. And there are so many other ways of saying that. Thank you, Shivani. So, there are so many other ways of saying that, as a matter of fact. So, the correct way to use according to me is according to is primarily used with either other people's opinion, I repeat, either other people's opinion or sources such as the Deccan Herald or the Times of the New York Times or let's say the Dawn, etc., or journals, articles, etc., but not yourself. So the next time you want to talk about your opinion, rather use things like to my mind, in my opinion, and there are so many other ways to express your opinion. Next time, if you want to use according to, make sure you can only use it with other people, other sources, but not first person. That is your own self. All right. So that is point number one. Perfect, Samyukta. Lovely. Now let's move to mistake number two. I have seen innumerable number of people making incorrect use of this word called actual. Let me show you how people use it incorrectly, first of all. So people say the information on the website is not actual. Look at the usage of this is not actual. Now, I want to ask you, those watching in the live class right now, what do you think is the problem with this word actual? And what could be a better replacement of it? You can put your answers in the chat box. Thank you. What is the problem with the word actual? Why do we not use it in a sentence like this? The information on the website is not actual. You must have seen a lot of people saying that, right? Authentic, basically. Thank you, Samyukta. Thank you, Shivani. Absolutely. Thank you. All right, let's understand the meaning behind it. Actual means something that is real or authentic, not current or up to date. So, for example, when you want to when you want to say that the information on the website is not up to date, a lot of the times students, let's say they want to check their marks or if the results are out or not, in our digital age, they have to check it on the website or on the app, correct? So if you want to say that the information on the website is not up to date, in that case, do not use the word actual because actual means not true. Or true or negative of it means not true. So that's important. Actual does not mean up to date. Actual means something that is true or apt. So in this sentence, what the student is basically, or the person is trying to say is up to date. The word may be right, but the context is not right in which it is said. So that's what we've got to keep in mind. All right. So that was mistake number two. Let us move to mistake number three of modern communication skills. By the way, the correct version is the information on the website is not up to date. Not is not actual. All right. Bingo. Let's move to mistake number three. From tomorrow onwards, whatever we do in the live class, we will have, ladies and gentlemen, a live practice of it as well. So I'm going to put the practice of it in the chat box or in the description below for you. So that whatever we do, you tend to sort of have an extra practice of it after the lesson. So hope it helps. On that note, make sure to give the lesson a like. Or in case you're new to our community, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Here we go. Mistake number three. I have seen a lot of people use this word in wrong context. They want to say something, but they end up saying something else completely. So the use of this word is not accurate. Let me show you and give you an example. I was very alone. Grammatically, this sentence makes sense. Everything is fine with this sentence. I was very alone at first, but then I made some friends. Now, people will say, well, Krish, everything's fine with this sentence. It's grammatically correct. Yes, today's session is not particularly related to grammatical incorrectness. Today, we're basically looking at how vocabulary is used in wrong context. So let me show you. Alone basically means when you're physically alone, as in when you're physically just one person in the environment. So basically, it's one room and you're the only person in that room. That's when you basically say alone physically. However, if the context of the sentence is more emotional, you're not basically referring to a physical setting. What you primarily mean is you feel as though there's nobody with you. You're kind of sad. So the emotional state of sadness and being alone is referred to as lonely. It does not necessarily mean physically, it is that emotional state of sadness. So when you say, I was very alone, you're basically saying that there was nobody with you. However, if you want to give a emotional connotation, as in you were really sad and there was nobody supporting you, etc., then you say, I was really lonely at first, but then I made some friends. Students generally sort of find themselves in this situation when they join universities or colleges or school, etc. So understand the difference between alone versus lonely. You use alone when you're physically singular person, let's say in a place or setting. You use lonely when you're emotionally sad and there's nobody with you. So understand the context and use these words accordingly correctly. So, for example, if you're in a meeting, don't just say, I was feeling lonely because nobody had come at 10 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, you would actually convey a completely different meaning. And somebody who understands English at proficient level may create a completely different understanding of what you're trying to say. So it's very important to differentiate two words. Number one, alone, and number two, lonely. All right? Bingo. Superb. Just looking at the comments. If you understand this, show me a big thumbs up or show me a big heart. Thank you. All right. So we're going to be looking at 15 mistakes in total. We're almost about to cover the first five. The next one is number fourth. Here we go. But before that, the correct sentence is I was very lonely at first, but then I made some friends. So what I'm basically trying to say is I was feeling sad that I had nobody to be with. Mistake number four, advise. Now, with this particular word, I want you to focus on ADVIC. So I want you to focus on the letter C. There are two words in English, ADVISE and ADVICE. People make a lot of mistakes between them as well. But within this word, people use it incorrectly like this. Please, can you give me one advice with a C? Or can you give me an advice? Have you seen people saying that? Have you said it yourself as well? Please give me an advice. Have you said it before? It's very common. Lot of people do not understand the correct use of advice and advice versus some advice. So let me clear that understanding for once and for all today. So the situation is what happens in reality is the word advice with C is uncountable. That means it is an opinion that can't be counted. So, for example, my advice to you is make sure to brushing up your communication skills so that people fall in love with the way you speak. That's my advice with a C to you. Now, it's my opinion. It's what I think. It is not something that can be counted. Correct? One, two, three, four, five, six. One pen can be counted. My suggestion, and of course, some people can say suggestions has a plural form, but my opinion, piece of opinion is something that can be segregated. But opinion is a thought. You can't count a thought, right? So what we're trying to say basically here is the word advice with a C is a noun. You can't count it. It's uncountable. So don't use either the word one with it or do not use an with it. And when you say, give me an advice, wrong English, do not say that. Do not write it also. You can simply say, please, can you give me some advice? Or, please, can you give me a piece of advice? So you can either use the word some, or you can say, if it's just one particularly, you can say a piece of advice. So not advice, not one advice, not an advice, either some advice or advice. If you understand this, show me a thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you. Chandra, Samyukta, Shivani, wonderful guys. Absolutely. So this is mistake number 4. Let's have a look at mistake, vocabulary mistake number 5. Appreciate. You must have seen a lot of people using this word appreciate, but I'm sure many of us may not know how to use this word correctly. So let me show you first the incorrect version. The incorrect version is I would appreciate if you could make less noise. The sentence looks absolutely correct grammatically, correct? But if you are a proficient speaker of English, you would know that the word appreciate has a certain set format in which it is used. The next time when you use this word, and by the way, it is not only applicable for spoken English, it's also applicable for written English as well. So the next time you use this word appreciate, I want you to focus on this. Always add the word it between it. Don't say, I would appreciate if you could do this, or I would appreciate if you could open the door, if you could help me with exam, or if you could whatever, whatever, whatever. Always add the word it with it, which is here. So the correct formatting of the phrase is I would, I would appreciate it if, and then the rest of the sentence. So the word I would appreciate it is very important. And I've seen 90% of the people missing it. They don't use with it because it is acting as an action or request that follows. So you sort of convey the sentence with one important word, and after that word, the rest of the sentence follows. So the correct formatting is I would appreciate it if you could make less noise. So this, ladies and gentlemen, makes the first 5 mistakes. If you've understood this, show me a big thumbs up. Thank you. There are a lot of thumbs ups that I can see. Show me a big heart. Is my voice audible? Are you able to hear it properly? I think there was a little bit of humming yesterday, but if you're able to hear it properly today, let me know, please. Perfect. Thank you. Bravo. Super. Lovely. So we've covered the one third of the lesson. Let's now look at the next part. Mistake number 6. And in my opinion, not according to me, in my opinion, it's going to start getting spicy now, interesting now. Look at this word blind. Now, some of you may say that blind is a word which is a little bit rude. So you might say, things like visually impaired, etc. But I'm not going to talk about the formality or informality. Let me show you the wrong sentence first. Some people become blind with the disease. Become blind? Sorry, become blind? A lot of people use this collocation incorrectly. Let me show you the reason. The reason is with blind, you always say the state of going blind. You always say go blind, not become blind. Next time when you have to use this word, God forbid, make sure that the collocation that goes with it is go and not become. I repeat, it's go, not become. So the correct sentence would be some people go blind with the disease. So it is go blind. But there are some other, just like this, there are some other mistakes that people make with go and become. Do you have some other examples that you can give me in the chat box? Perfect. Who told the answer? Samyukta told the answer. Thank you, Samyukta. Just like this, there are some other mistakes that people make between the word go and become. What do you think are these? Can you tell me in the chat box? There are many examples of this, by the way, where this kind of mistake happens. All right, super. Mistake 7. The word is both or neither. A lot of the times, when people have to talk about two things, but in a negative format, they still use the word both, which is wrong. Let me show you the incorrect example. Both of them didn't come to the party. Tell me something in the chat box right now. Is this sentence affirmative sentence, that is positive sentence, or is this sentence negative? Tell me in the chat box, please. Is it positive or is it negative? I'm looking at the comments on my laptop here. Positive or negative? It's negative. Thank you. Perfect. So the secret is, listen to me carefully. The secret is the next time you see a negative sentence and you have to mention two things in it, please do not use both. Why? Because with negative sentences, especially when you're talking about two elements or two things in it, use neither. Now, some people say, Krish, what is the right pronunciation? Neither or neither, both are right. You can pick the one which you like, but make sure that R is silent. We do not pronounce R in the end of it. So we say neither or neither. So the correct sentence is neither of them came to the party. Once again, if you're talking about two things, two people, um, uh, two situations, whatever that has two in it, and you're talking about the absence of it, it's a negative sentence. Always say neither or neither, whatever you prefer pronunciation wise. That's mistake number 7. Now let's have a look at mistake number 8. All right. One of my friend actually uses this word incorrectly, and I decided to put this word today in the lesson. I never corrected my friend, to be honest, because sometimes people feel offended, but let me show you how people use it incorrectly. So the incorrect sentence is the boys need some new dresses. I'm sure some of you already know what the right answer is immediately, and some of you may still be guessing, which is fine. Why do you think this sentence is wrong? What is wrong with this word in this sentence? Why do we not use it? It's got to do, let me give you a very big hint. But if I give you the hint, you'll actually get to know the answer. Why do you think this is incorrect? Tell me in the comments. Looking at your comments, waiting what people have to say. You can make an educated guess. That's totally fine. Outfit. Thank you, Samyukta. That could be an alternative, but why do we have this word as an incorrect word in this sentence? Why? Okay, let me tell you the answer. You're referring to boys, males. So, in the context of boys, the other side of the gender, males, you do not use the word dress. The reason is, please have a look, dress is clothing, particularly for women. Excuse me. Dress is clothing, particularly for women. Remember that. And clothes, on the other hand, is particularly a general term or outfit, whatever, is a general term for can be used across the genders basically. So the correct sentence would be the boys need some new clothes, not dresses. Dresses or a dress is clothing particularly for female or women, not for men. All right? I hope it helps. Let's move to the next one. Mistake number 9. Lay down. This is an advanced collocation, proficient level collocation, and I've seen a lot of advanced speakers of English using this phrase incorrectly. Let me show you the wrong sentence. I just wanted to lay down and have a rest. Everything seems fine. But the problem is, whenever you use the word lay down, you always need a physical object with it, an object with it. So for example, lay this pen down on your hand. So it is an object, and I'm saying lay this pen down on your hand. However, if you're talking about your own self, I repeat, if you're talking about your own self, you say lie down. Basically, when you put yourself to rest, when you want to rest, you've been working really hard and you want to say, I just want to take a break and rest for a while, that is to put yourself in a horizontal position, go for a nap, etc. In that case, always remember to use the word lie down, not lay down. So I just wanted to lie down and have a rest. There's another problem that I see. Lot of the times, people use LYE as the spelling. That's wrong. Not lie down, LYE. It is simple, like the same like truth and lie, LIE, lie down. If you understood this, give me a big heart, either in the chat box or on the video. Perfect. Excellent. Just one like on the lesson so far. Hello, are you not enjoying the lesson? Here we go. Mistake number 10. We're almost inching towards the end of the lesson. Here we go. Market. Now, this word may seem very simple, but I've seen so many people, especially in normal day to day conversation, they do not know what is the right way of using it. I'll tell you the most common incorrect way first. The magazine gives a list of all the computers in the market. Everything seems fine with the sentence until you understand that when you're referring to something that is on sale, I repeat, something that is available on sale, you do not say in the market. I repeat, if something is on sale, you do not say in the market, you say on the market. So the right sentence is the right way to say it is the magazine gives a list of all the computers on the market. That is all the computers that are on sale on the market, not in the market. So very, very important element here. Next time when you say, do not say in the market, say on the market. All right, let's move on. Mistake number 11, marriage. My God, every time when I hear this mistake, it kind of makes me laugh. And I'm sure you laugh as well. I'll tell you why. Let me show you the wrong sentence. Why didn't you invite me to your marriage? Why do you think is this word wrong here? What is wrong with this word? Tell me in the comments. You didn't invite me to your marriage. Why is this word wrong here? Okay. Samyukta is giving us alternative. Thank you, Samyukta. But why is it wrong? That's the question. I'll give you some more seconds. Okay. Listen to me very, very carefully. Marriage is an institution. Marriage is a legal union or a religious union. It's the relationship. It's not the party. It's the new relationship or the institution that you're coming into together. And that is always between two people. You can't say, why didn't you invite me to your marriage? It's like inviting somebody as the third wheel in your institution or in your relationship. And that's rude. It's not right. So the correct replacement is when you're referring to the event or the ceremony, you say wedding. So that's a very, very important difference between marriage and wedding. So the next time you're referring to, you're possibly teasing your friend who's, let's say, not invited to to you, uh, hypothetically, you do not say, you didn't invite me to your marriage. You say, you didn't invite me to your wedding, which is the ceremony that you're referring to, the celebration of the event, basically. All right. That was mistake number 11. How's it going? Are you finding it easy? Is it easy peasy, ladies and gentlemen? Am I going too fast? Is the pace all right? Tell me in the comments, please. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's move ahead. Mistake number 12, pardon. Now, all of us know when we want to apologize, we say, pardon me. Yeah. Or if you want somebody to repeat, you say, pardon, I beg your pardon. That's what you say, right? But there is another way in which people use it incorrectly. Thank you, Chandra. Here we go. I asked the teacher if I could be pardoned for a few minutes. One of my very good colleagues was using this word, and I suddenly realized that people use the word pardon thinking that it is posh English or it is maybe proficient English, advanced way of using the word, but the context is completely wrong. I mean, the situation in which it is being used is completely wrong and it's conveying a different meaning. If you want somebody to allow you to go out for a few minutes and then come back, it's not pardon me for a few minutes. Pardon means to forgive somebody for an offense. Excuse is used, on the other hand, to request permission to leave, etc., or be absent temporarily, permanently, whatever. But excuse is seeking permission to leave or for absence. On the other hand, pardon is seeking forgiveness for an offense. So there's a big difference between the two, and you can't interchange that even colloquially. So the correct way is I asked the teacher if I could be excused, not pardoned, ladies and gentlemen, for a few minutes. All right, bingo. That was mistake number 12. And here is mistake number 13. Have a look. Afterwards. This is a very nice conjunction, a very nice word that people use to connect one part of the sentence with the other part of the sentence. But I'm going to tell you today a very important secret, something really interesting related to afterwards. First of all, let's see how do people use it incorrectly. Here we go. I studied accounting, but afterwards I started working in marketing. Tell me something. When you study accounting, and let's say after some time you start working, is there a short gap in it or is there a long period in it? There are months sometimes. So even if there are months in it or many, many days in it, is it a short period or is it a relatively longer period? Tell me in the chat box, is it a shorter period or longer period? I repeat the question. When you finish your education and when you get a job, between this, is this a short period or a relatively longer period? Is it like next day you start working, or do you think it takes time? What do you think? Takes time, or do you think it's absolutely immediate? It's a longer period. Thank you. It's a longer period. Afterwards is a word that you only use, have a look, in the context of this events that happen absolutely immediately. But for events that have longer duration or longer intervals, you used other words such as later on is one example that is mentioned here. So the idea is next time we have to talk about doing something immediately, then use afterwards and not something else. If something has happened, there's been some distance, there's been some interval, there's been a longer duration, then in that case you'll have to use later on. So for example, I studied economics, sorry, I studied accounting, but now I'm working in marketing. Or later on, I started working in marketing. So many ways of saying it. Afterwards is only used when the interval is really short. For example, I am in a live lesson right now. Afterwards, I'm going to have my dinner. So can you see? Immediately after the live lesson, I'm going to have my dinner. So when it is immediate, you say afterwards. Show me a big thumbs up or a like if you've understood this. Thank you. Superb. Bingo. Let's look at mistake number 14, second last mistake. Agreement. This word is the way we're going to be looking at it is I'm going to show you how to use this word in formal setting. I repeat, I will show you how to use this word formally correctly. Recently, I was reading an article, and in that article, I saw this sentence, and it's incorrect. The government has made an agreement with China. An agreement. Made an agreement. There's something wrong there. What do you think is wrong with made an agreement? It is not right. It doesn't, it's not the um, idiomatic expression, or it's not the collocation in which it goes. Why do you think it is? Does anybody know the answer in the chat box, ladies and gentlemen? Have a look. Whenever you use the word agreement, always make sure you attach it with reach or work out. So you say reach an agreement or work out an agreement, but never, ladies and gentlemen, never say made an agreement. So the correct sentence would be the government has reached agreement with China. I repeat, the government has reached agreement, not made an agreement. It's very important, and especially used in the context of emails, or you'd see Grammarly correcting you perhaps whenever you write made an agreement, because that is wrong communication. All right. The last mistake of the day is, here we go. Drum rolls in the background. Aircrafts. And I know very, very few people know this. Let me show you the incorrect first. All the aircrafts have to be checked and refueled. What do you think is wrong with this sentence? Tell me in the chat box. All the aircrafts have to be checked and refueled. What do you think is wrong? So, have a look. Aircraft is a word that is both singular as well as plural. That is, it does not change the form. So we do not say aircrafts. It's wrong. The correct is all the aircraft have to be checked and refueled. Supremely important. So many people do not know this. And if there are multiple planes, people say aircrafts. Aircrafts. The word aircraft, ladies and gentlemen, does not have a plural form. It is same as both singular as well as plural. It remains aircraft only, which is the same with fish as well, right? With fish, we do not say fishes unless we are referring to different species of fish. We simply say fish. So fish, aircraft, army, all singular as well as plural. Plural. There's no s or es or ies that we attach with it towards the end. Very interesting, right? I thought this I truly found one of the most interesting ones, and I thought that I'm going to put it in the end because it's really important. Yeah. So next time, save face. If you are talking to somebody and talking about aviation industry, you can say aircraft only and not aircrafts. And watch out if you're talking to pilots, see if they use aircrafts or aircraft. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of aviation courses that take place on Cambridge Veritas. I've seen this is a very crucial part of the training because as cabin crew, as pilot, as ground staff, you have to use these words carefully because hello, everything depends on communication. So it's not aircrafts, it's aircraft. Okay. So let's revise what we did in this lesson today. Number one, always use in my opinion. I repeat, always use in my opinion. Number two, the information on the website is not actual. Don't use that. If you're referring to up to date, simply say up to date. Number three, I was very lonely at first, but then I made some friends. If you're talking about your emotional state, that is, you're feeling sad and nobody is with you, then you say lonely, not alone. So make sure to understand the differentiation between the words. Please, can you give me some advice? Do not say an advice, always say some advice. Number five, I would appreciate it if you could make less noise. Whenever you use the word appreciate, always add it with it. I would appreciate it if la di la di la, then you sort of carry on with your sentence. Next, some people go blind with the disease. It's not become blind. Always say go blind. not become blind. Next, neither of them came to the party. If the sentence is negative, do not say both of them didn't come to the party. Say neither of them came to the party. In negative sentences, when you're referring to two items, always use the word neither, not both of them didn't, and make the sentence negative. Next mistake, the boys need some new clothes. For boys, never use the word dress. It is wrong. We discussed the reason. Dress is clothing for women. Clothes, on the other hand, is a general term, gender neutral term that you can use for both men as well as women. I just wanted to lie down and have a rest. When you're talking about resting after getting really tired, then you say lie down, not lay down. Lay down is particularly used for objects. So lay your pen on your hand is correct, but lie your pen on your hand is also wrong. So if you're talking about your own self, make sure to use the word lie down, not lay down. Next, the magazine gives a list of all the computers on the market. Don't say in the market. When you're referring to sale that's going on, always say on the market, not in the market. Why didn't you invite me to your wedding? Marriage is an institution only between two people. So you don't want to be a part of that institution. It's rude to say that. So don't say, why didn't you invite me to your marriage? Say, why didn't you invite me to your wedding? Next, I asked the teachers if I could be excused for a few minutes. Use the word excuse if you want permission to leave, not pardon. So, pardon is particularly used for seeking forgiveness. I studied accounting, but now I'm working in marketing. Do not use afterwards in this sentence. We use afterwards when things are happening immediately after something that has happened before it. So after this class, I'm going to have dinner. So we say not after the online lesson, I am teaching. Afterwards, I'm going to have my dinner. So it's immediately after it. So we use the word afterwards. The government has reached agreement with China. Do not say made an agreement. You say reach an agreement. That's very, very important. And the last one is here. All the aircraft have to be checked and refueled. Aircraft is singular as well as plural. We do not add S to this word. Next time when you speak English, make sure to not add S with this word. Ladies and gentlemen, it's wrong English. All right. So that's about today's lesson. In this lesson, I have brought to you the mistakes that I see students make at beginner level, intermediate level, as well as advanced level when they use important English words afterwards, marriage, dress, according to, and whatnot. Now, I want you to tell me which one do you think is the most important for you in the live chat? And if you have any questions, use this time to ask the questions. Uh, and I'm sure we'll be able to help each other. The lesson's over, but let's use this time to ask and answer questions. If you have any questions, I'm going to give you some time and tell me which of these mistakes, which one of these do you think is the most useful for you? Let's get going. Looking at your comments now. I see a lot of comments here. Chandra, Samyukta, Shivani, who else? Mostly you guys. Good job, guys. Maintaining the flow. Boys in dresses. Yes, Samyukta, I agree. It's true. All right. For those of you who are new to our channel, welcome to the Cambridge Veritas community. Every day at 9:30 p.m., we go live with our episodic series, live lessons on modern communication skills. So do share the channel with your friends and family who are looking for a platform where they can understand and hone and polish their communication skills. We are a great place We love people like you who want to work on their communication skills, most importantly. You're welcome, Rainy Nights. Thank you. God bless. Take care. No problem at all. Thank you. All right. Was hoping to see some questions as well. You're welcome, Chandra. Chandra, it's very lovely to see you once again. I know we had the live class about 2 months ago, and you were there as well. So good job maintaining the flow. Super. Okay, guys, I do not see any questions. You have my email address. It's in the description below. In case you have any questions, feel free to ask. In case you want to join any courses that are available on Cambridge Veritas, link of the counselors and the number is available in the description as well. Feel free to. Lots of love, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. God bless. Take care, and I'll see you very, very soon. Ciao, ciao.